I am live, or is it Memorex? Don't think I'll need those glasses. I ain't gonna be reading. Let's see if anybody jumps in my room. Only the night owls are up now. Hot dog, 2 people in here. Man, Drifter Thrifters, I thought you forgot all about me. Hadn't heard from you in a year. I hope you're enjoying that 90-degree weather. Okay, yo. You know, there's another word that goes after yo. It's called yo-yo. That ain't funny, is it? I don't think so. Never, just been down. Never. Oh, okay, good. You're my buddy. You're my buddy. Oh man, I got me a Xbox One TB today. And this is the guy that gave me a negative feedback on a Chargers hat. But anyway, yeah, I've been trying to get my hands on a PS5, and today I kept Best Buy kept popping them out there, and I could never get in, and finally I got one. So guess what? I got me an Xbox One TV. Not really care about it, but I'm gonna grab it anyway because it's hard to get. And right now those are selling on eBay for between $850 and about $1,200, and it cost me like $543 with tax. So I'll wait and see what happens if I can get my hands on a PS5 or 2 or 3. The new laptop, is that the one you got from the CEX? All right, who else is in the house? I see 3 or 4 people in here, but I don't see anybody saying anything except Mr. Nate. It's a beast, huh? What kind of laptop is it? Like, I mean, I don't know a lot about laptops, but dang, where's my eye puffy? Did I do something? Maybe I need to get some of that Mary Kay out and clear my face up. I don't know what that is. It's a beast. I didn't plan this as I haven't the last 3 lives. I just decided to go for MSI. I'm not familiar with MSI. What is that? Is that like an Australian brand or something? Oh, a gaming laptop. Okay. Well, I've looked at them and they're pretty cool, all the lights and everything, but I wouldn't know how to play one. I guess it's just me and you, buddy. It says there's 3 of us in here, but the other 2 ain't said who they are. So I was just getting ready to go to bed and finish my pre-doing some of my video, and I thought, you know what? Let's go live real quick and just see what's going on. I've been on several other lives, and I haven't had my own here in the last few days. So anyway, see who else is still awake at the wee hours. It's a hybrid, but a PC. But can game. Do you play a lot of video games? I mean, I know you like them, and we both seem to love PS3s, even though you know more about them than I do. But of course, the last time I did a live, I got thumbs down, so I better be careful of my lives because I guess I can be a little boring on my lives. But hey, get in here and talk to us. Get in here and talk to us. That's what we're here for, right, Nate? Right now, we're just talking to ourselves. Nowhere near enough. Don't know why I should more. What the heck? Just saw you were live. Totally shocked. Well, there's Miss Alyssa. How about that? Man, another one of them people I don't hear from very much. But I know she's a night owl. If I thought anybody was going to be in here, it was you two, because Nate is on a different time frame than we are, and Alyssa is a night owl. So I thought I'd go live. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I thought, you know what? Let's just go live for a little bit and see what's going on. And there's Karen. Must have just got home. Jay. I got 4 people in here and 3 are talking to me. All right, who's the 4th person that's hiding? I didn't go find my Adidas hat, so I stuck on the Chargers hat, even though I got a negative from a Charger fan. So, hey, I just decided after I got through doing my preliminary for my video tomorrow to go live for a few minutes. I've been seeing other people live at night, and I thought, you know what? Get on there and go live. See what you get. So maybe I'll get a subscriber out of it. I don't know. I can't never figure it out. Last week I had 427. Next day I had 419. I was like, I didn't lose 8 people in one night. Come on. And there's Angie Resales. Hello there. Did I win anything yet, Angie? I saw you were doing giveaways. I need to win. I like winning. Just having a late lunch. Prawn sandwich. That's like shrimp, right? Prawns. I remember in Apocalypse Now they were eating prawns. Or is it a prawn pie and walnut yogurt? Y'all eat some of the funniest stuff to us. The giveaways start on Tuesday for 12 days. Oh, okay. You're going to be like Ellen DeGeneres, huh? The 12 days of giveaways. What Xbox did I get? I got the new one. I got lucky with Best Buy. I keep getting alerts on all the stores except for eBay. I don't pay attention to eBay because they're too expensive. And I get alerts, but every time I get into Walmart or Best Buy, I never get them because so many people are flooding the system. But today, every time my alert hit me that Best Buy had a Xboxes, it's the 1 terabyte, the Series X. Yeah, Series X, yeah. And I meant Series X, I'm sorry. And finally on one of them it said add to cart, and I added it, and it took, and I gave my credit card, and I was like, oh my goodness, I got one. I gotta go pick it up Wednesday at the Best Buy. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet because I really want a PS5, not an Xbox, but I know what it's worth. So, saw your show earlier. Yeah, how can we lose 12 items in 1,200 square feet? And it's not 1,200 square feet there, smart Alec. I have $14.98. I'll have you know. And yeah, I have like 10,000 caps. I don't have 10,000, but I'll bet you I got 1,000 easy. I got probably 500 on eBay, and then the rest I've got some unlisted in the garage. And what's funny is I have 3 of these. I have a camo, I have this one, and I had a blue canvas. And I know I wore it once, but I don't know where I put it. And I'll tell you, I spent hours looking for this $9.50 cap. And I tried to hold off. And the only reason I printed the label was because if you don't do it by a certain time, because I ship in one day, you're going to get a ding on you for not shipping fast enough. So I printed the label because I knew I was going to find it. And then I bugged the guy to pay me because he didn't pay me right away. And I sent him a reminder. And I guess he probably got mad about that. And then the next day he's like, where is it? I don't see it. I don't see any tracking on it. So I did appeal to eBay, and they said, no, trying to bribe the guy with a free hat. This one probably isn't the right thing. And anyway, I did respond to his feedback in a semi-smart aleck way as much as I can, but you can't leave him negatives anymore. So, but he was a jerk, and he lives in San Diego area. So it is what it is. It took me from 99.9 to 99.8. But I know that I give great customer service, so I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, occasionally I'm not going to find something, and it's typically the stuff that I've had for a long time, and we have to move stuff around from time to time because of the way things are. Yeah, I agree with you, Angie. I used to give them when they give it to me, I give it to them, and I'll be honest, I don't leave feedback for anybody until they leave feedback for me. And I know some people don't think that's right, but I tell you what, it helps me get feedback. I get about 100 feedback a month. And I'm over 4,000, almost 4,500. So, yeah. I'd give you a negative too if you begged me, then couldn't find it. Come on. Yeah, I know. Hey, we all make mistakes there, Mr. Nate. And you told your story on Emily Conway's show, so there you go. But we all make them, and I tried to do the right thing. I tried to give him a free hat. I apologized like 3 times in the message. but he just wanted to be a jerk about it, and I kind of knew it was coming. But I got another one that I got 12 months ago, and it's about to drop off, so it'll put me right back to 99.9. I sell enough, 300 a month, so it ain't going to take long for it to jump back up there. I was just kind of looking forward to getting back to 100, but when you sell that many items, you're going to get some people that aren't happy, and I'll work with you, but not when you're a jerk. But yeah, in the good old days, if somebody left you a negative, you could leave them one, And if you'd have left me a neutral, it'd been even better. But well, 3 out of 10 is actually pretty good when you think about it. If you do 300, and that's 30. I say 100. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I would say I definitely get more than probably most people do, just because I don't give it. And sometimes it's 3 months after I sold it before I get a feedback on something. But as soon as they do, I leave it for them. And you know, is that your? I'm assuming, Nate, that's your new computer, because I don't understand any of that tech stuff. Yeah, 128 gigabyte. That's what this new computer. I got a new HP Pavilion, and that's what it is, 128 gigabyte. So, but it's not a laptop. I'm not a huge laptop guy. I prefer a desktop. Um, and I do have an iPad and stuff like that, but I never use it. Those are things I take on like an airplane going to Maui, and I watch movies on or something. But ain't going to Maui anytime soon. And I don't know, after I watched last night's Boeing 737X, I'm not getting on any of them until everybody tests them out. Alphabet soup for sure. Mainly as a desktop. I understand. Well, it's been like 90-something degrees out there, according to Carm. So y'all can keep that stuff. We're going to get down in the 20s at night here next week. Of course, people, I don't know where, Angie, I don't know what part of the country you live in. I know Alyssa lives in Ohio, so I know it's cold up there all the time in the winter. We go through spells where we'll be in the 70s, and the next week we'll be in the 50s, and the next week we'll be in the 30s. So that's just being in the middle of the country on the plains. But Angie, I don't know what part of the country do you live in? Yeah, I don't like laptop keyboards either. I prefer a mouse. From Ohio originally and got tired of the cold. Okay, so Pensacola. Okay, you're down on the coast. See, and I've lived in Florida. I spent 2.5 months in Florida in boot camp in Orlando, and then I've been to Ohio. I went to Columbus and Dayton when I was with Emory and Purelator a few times back in the mid '80s. The two-man show? Yeah, it is. It is. But he just went to bed. He was telling jokes a while ago, and you'll see those in the morning. I've never been to Pensacola, but Nate has, probably on a Greyhound bus, because he's been everywhere. What's that song? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. And he's been there on a Greyhound bus. And nowadays, you're taking your life in your hands on a Greyhound bus. Yeah, JT got new clothes today, and y'all going to see him. He got 2 shirts, and he's wearing one of them in the video that you will see in the morning, because I've already filmed the first part of it and the first part of the sales. I'm over 200 in sales today so far. So after a $400 day yesterday, but hey, the night's not over. Taking a bus is time. Yeah. And when I was a kid, I used to travel from Texas, where I grew up to Oklahoma to see my grandparents in the summer and my brothers. And it was a 12-hour bus ride from Austin to Oklahoma City. And but I enjoyed it as a 12-year-old. That's a lot of fun. So, hey, Michelle, how are you? Welcome to the show. I decided all you night owls needed somebody to talk to tonight, and I knew some of you, like Nate and probably Lissa, would be up. She's a night owl, and Nate's on a different time schedule. And Karen don't usually go to bed till 1:30 in the morning. She's got a coat to fix. I love seeing the country. My longest was Vancouver to Toronto. That ain't that far apart. Oh, Vancouver. Oh, okay. British Columbia. Okay. Yeah, that's a long trip. Yeah. Never again. My mom rode a bus when I lived in Albany, New York. She rode a bus with my brother's little boy. He was coming back off of a world cruise on the USS Enterprise, and they were going into Norfolk, and I lived in Albany, and she took a bus from Austin, Texas to Albany with I think he was about 3 or 4 then. And then we drove from there about 10 hours to Norfolk to meet him when his ship came in. And he saw his little brother. And I'm going to tell you, that was one of the most touching moments I've ever had, because all my cruises, nobody was ever on the pier when I came home after a 6-month deployment. But that's another story. I took a bus from Georgia in 95. Georgia to Ohio? I'm assuming that's what that is. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. That Under Armour jacket I sold when I was putting in the package looked like somebody had glued some Velcro in it, and we're trying to get it fixed before I ship it out. And then back to LA. Wow. LA to St. Louis to Boston to Lansing to Seattle, then back to LA. Yeah, that's a long time on a bus. Man. And you didn't even have Pippa with you or Dodger. Yeah, my mom fell here a couple weeks ago giving her dog a bath. And my mom's 78. She's in a lot of pain right now. I'm starting to really worry about her. But today she finally told me she feels a little bit better, but she doesn't have any broken or cracked ribs that we know of. She just has a real bad bruise. But I keep telling her, my mom's a real cleanliness nut and can't stand a dog that ain't bathed and all that. And she's doing way too much at her age and my mom can't hardly see. She's got degenerative eye disease. And I keep telling her, Mom, you got to slow down, because if you don't, you're going to break a hip and then you're going to be in trouble. And she don't listen. And of course, she still smokes too. Hell no, God bless you, Mom. 12 weeks, man. 12 weeks. Yeah, 12 weeks on a bus. I'd rather be on a ship at sea for 6 months. And I was many times. And I said the story in my video. You'll see it tomorrow. But 38 years ago today, I didn't get out of the Navy, but I got to leave my last ship in Coronado, California, and go home to Texas. And I was 2 weeks early because my ship was going to overhaul in Bremerton, Washington, up by Seattle. And they gave me an option of getting out 2 weeks early and going home, or going to Bremerton and putting my car on top of the flight deck of the aircraft carrier and driving home from there. And I said, I'll go home now. So I went home 38 years ago today. I was only 10. Yeah, right. 8-week stop in Indiana. 8-week stop in Indiana. What, the bus break down? They didn't have another one? Holy smoke. Or did you go to jail? My 95 trip to Canton to Huntsville, Georgia to see Army friend. Wow. An Army friend. That must have been a man if you say it that way. I remember sitting in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and looking at a map and seeing Hershey was the next town over. It was so sad. Yeah, Harrisburg, the company I worked for before I retired, they got a major trucking hub there in Harrisburg. And I got a buddy that lives up that way. Now I stay with friends. LOL. Listen. Yep, I knew it. When you say Army friend in Georgia, that's all that's in the Army down there. Well, there was back then anyway. Mostly. Canton, Ohio. That's the NFL Hall of Fame, Nate. Of course, you already know that. So what else is going on in everybody's life? Everybody have a good Thanksgiving other than Nate, because I know they don't celebrate that holiday in Australia. I hope y'all did. You've been to the NHL one, not the NFL one. Where's the NHL one at? I don't even know. I don't follow hockey that much. Worked. You worked on Thanksgiving? Hey, you sound like my middle daughter. She had to work on Thanksgiving. That's one thing great about UPS. We didn't have to work on holidays like that. But We always had to work on Veterans Day. That's the one I used to always get mad about. Hey, I'm a veteran. I don't even get the day off, and state people get to get it off, and half of me veterans. Come on. But I've worked them all. In 4 years in the Navy, I was never home at Thanksgiving or Christmas. I was always at sea or in some port somewhere where I couldn't get home. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're getting ready to come up at the end of the month. You're going to get some more listings. Good for you. I hope you get a bunch and can fill them. I picked up some Xbox One games at Target today, and I should double my money and maybe triple my money on one of them. And then hit a few thrift stores, one thrift store, Best Buy, picked up some Christmas presents, and I think that's about it. Got me a couple of shirts and got JT one. You go see it tomorrow. You watch my video, and you'll see the other one because I ain't put that one on him yet, but I'm not going to put it on right away. A nursing facility. Oh, okay. Well, you need to be safe in those places. I know that's a big spreader of that stuff. So I'll need to list 150 items super fast. Yeah, I know. I saw that. And 7 Nintendo games in one case. By the way, I picked up some DS games today, and they had a bunch of games marked $15.51, and normally they're $2.02. And these I got for $2.02. They're nothing big. And this one I've got probably 3 times. But for $2, I'm going to pick up just about any video game. And most of these aren't worth a ton. But one of them was a Pokemon Sun sealed on 3DS, and they wanted $15, but it comps at like $38.99. So I grabbed it, and the little girl behind the counter said, "Dang, tomorrow I could have got that." I was like, "Sorry, y'all should be marking that stuff up to $15." Goodwill's not a non-profit anymore; they're a for-profit. Say what you want, but that was a good one. Sold one 360 game for $80. That's a good deal there. Anytime you can sell a game for $80. Any GameCube, or I don't find 64 games much, but any DS games, pretty much I'm going to buy them if they're $2, even if they only have $3 or $4 in value. They're good bundle games. So, and I did, by the way, if y'all watch Lonnie, and I know some of you watch Shed Flips, I gained a lot of respect for Lonnie the other day. If y'all watched his video where he did that deal with that guy for $4,000 and they could have got away with 3,500, I gained a lot of respect for him. He has one of these that he tests his stuff with, and I've got all my systems set up. But I needed something like without 60 to 80 bucks online. I got this one for $22 on eBay in a bid, and it's got everything with it, the remote control. And I'm going to start using it so I can start testing these consoles and getting them out of here. But that's a good deal. So, yeah, and I wasn't always a big Lonnie fan, but I watch him a lot, and I realize he doesn't pick like a lot of the real true pickers. I don't know how you do it, Angie, but I'm actually going out and picking stuff and not getting all these deals with friends and stuff like that. I mean, you run into that kind of stuff, but we're actually hustling stuff. And but he did the right thing, and he's got some good stuff. Although if you look at his, if you look, I follow a lot of these guys that I watch their eBay sites, and he has 2 of them. He has Garage Flips, and then he has Mean PC, all one word. And that's where he has most of his items other than the nude comic books that he has. And he's been listing that stuff. And if you saw some of what he bought, it's not a lot of valuable stuff like that Apollo coin he was all excited about. He's got one of them he sold for $14.99. And if you were watching, he had 2 Rugrat watches, the Mott's applesauce Rugrat watches from Nickelodeon from '98. He had those for $11.99, and guess who bought them? I bought them. Hopefully I'll get a plug out of it. But I bought them because my kids loved Rugrats, and I thought for $11.99 for 2 watches that are vintage like that, I'm going to get them. Who knows what they're going to end up being worth? I mean, they're not worth a ton now, obviously, but hey, they're brand new in the box. I better catch up on this. So today you had a ass hat buy a $300 bracelet And after you packed it, he wrote his wife had a dramatic change of heart that was seriously the explanation he wanted to cancel. Oh, I'm sorry, Lissa. I've had that happen too. So, I mean, I've had people buy stuff and then immediately turn around and cancel. And I don't know how y'all handle that. I just usually cancel. But some people say, no, don't cancel. Make them cancel. But, why hassle with it and then worry? You're just delaying selling it. So, yeah, it has HDMI. And it also has the AV cables. So I can hook those into the older systems. But I've got a bunch of Wii's, and I've got a 64 and a Wii U, and all those things I need to test. And rather than unhook all my systems I got hooked up over here on the TV, I don't want to mess with that. So I grabbed one of those, and I got it cheap enough that, and it works really good. So hey, there you go. Teach us about video games. Teach you about video games. You know, Nate's really good with the knowledge of video games, more so than I am. I'm not a player of video games. I just buy a lot of them. The ones that I'm aware of that are worth the most money are the ones like NCAA's, the late ones, because NCAA aren't made anymore. The last NCAA footballs were made in 14 that's why the Xbox 360 and the PS3 NCAA 14 are worth so much money. The Xbox one's worth about $150. And then as far as the PSP NCAA 10 was the last one they made for that system. And then typically it's the anime theme ones like Dokapon and the Zeldas, and of course any Mario games are going to be valuable. You got to comp them. I mean, every video game, you just need to comp it and do a sold comp on it and see what it's worth. And sometimes I'm shocked by some of the ones I find. And I still have all these. This summer I went to a yard sale, and this lady had a bunch of Sega games. She didn't have any games out. And I said, by chance, do you have any video game stuff? And she goes, oh, I have an older system. And the lady was probably, I'm guessing, in her early 40s, maybe mid 40s. What time is it here? It's an hour before you. It's 11:26. You're just probably getting up since you're a night owl. But anyway, I asked her, and she said, yeah, I got some older stuff. And of course, my eyes lit up. I'm like, what do you got? And she had a Sega Genesis, and she had 16 games. 14 were Genesis games in the case, like this. And the other two were GameCube games. And I, again, don't play games. And some of them aren't valuable games, but some of them are. And I haven't even listed these yet because, I mean, for $50, they're worth a lot more than $50, probably several hundred, but I'm almost afraid to get rid of it. And then I bought this one from Tesla Picker. It's Sonic 2. I don't know. Again, trying to get a shout out, I guess. But I bought that before I bought the system. And I've got, I think, at least 2 or 3 of these Genesis systems, but I didn't have any games. And now I got a ton of them, but I almost don't want to get rid of them. I mean, I've got PSPs and DSs and other stuff and 64s and GameCubes, and I don't play any of them. I just don't want to get rid of them. And if the cost of goods is low, I mean, they're always just going to increase in value. So why not just sit on them? If I need the money, I'll go get them. I just got a sale. Let's see what I sold. Oh, guess what? It's another Marvel Thor. That's my third one. I got one more to go, and I'll be in the profit. I bought 20 of these for $50, and I've sold 3 of them now, and I'm just about another $12 or so from profit off that $50, and 16 of them will be all profit after that. So that's what you want to do. I always in answer, Michelle, do bundle deals. You definitely want to do bundle deals. When I see like Mary Kay, I buy all of it if I can, or all those Funko Pops were the same character, and I saw that they were about $22 a piece, free shipping, and I was paying $2.50 a piece. I just said I want to buy them all, and we went back and forth. The Ninja Turtles, anything like that you find in bulk, especially if it's one SKU, as long as it's something that's desired, grab it. Grab them in bundle deals. Don't just don't buy one or two of them. Buy them all if you can, and especially if there's some good profits. That plush deal that I got, I mean, that's been a home run. And the Mary Kay, I mean, I'm like almost $800 of profit, and I still got a bunch of that left. And the plush I've made over 400 on. I mean, we're talking $26 and over 400 profit. So you definitely want to look for those plushes. You want to look for good video games. But again, I don't think you lose by buying video games, even, and they can correct me, even if they're $3 or $4, because you can always bundle them with a system. And usually you're going to put the lower end games with the systems anyway. So yeah, bulk is dreamy. I'm going to catch up on some of this. You're on the hunt for stuff, and do you have a bins near you, Angie? Like a Goodwill bins or an Outlet bins? Those are good places to go. Yeah, and you drive a lot. Yeah, you do. I mean, I'm not afraid to drive to get stuff, but there's just so much here around us. I don't have to drive. The fun ones are like the 100-mile yard sales and that kind of stuff, and we'll drive for those because we know we're going to find some good stuff. And like you say, Nate, if you get rural, you usually can find some better stuff because not everybody's out there chasing the rural stuff. They're all in the city where the competition is. For you, it's Brisbane. For me, it's Oklahoma City. But I'm an early riser, so I'm out there early. I mean, when they say 8 o'clock, I'm there at 7:15 because I know people are going to get there early, and a lot of times the sales are going to open up early. And I know that drives you nuts, Nate, but and that's what you got to do. When I lived in Arizona, it gets light at 5:30 in the morning. So guess what time you got to be out there? By 5:15 if you want to get the good stuff. The one, I don't know if you look at it as, I wasn't an eBay reseller when I lived in Arizona, but there's a lot of estate sales. There's a lot of retired people out there. So that would be the place definitely to find stuff. Xbox. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Okay, I've got some Xbox Need for Speeds. I don't think I have Most Wanted though. I'll have to look. I got a bunch of games, as y'all know. Yeah, and it depends. Michelle, and the bins, the DS games or any case games, if they're the right games like Zeldas and stuff, if you are comping games and they're disc only, if you can find the cases and keep them and until you find the games, yeah, that's a good thing because the cases will sell. I mean, when I sold the Dokapon game, I didn't have the case, and it was $149. I sold that for. It was a Wii game. If I had the case, it was like $249. So I went on eBay and tried to find the case, and they wanted $70 for the case. So I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, you definitely want to keep cases when you find them empty. And I have picked up stuff where there wasn't stuff in it. You work the weekends. Yeah, but you know the best, Michelle, the best day to go yard selling, at least where I live, and I don't know where you live, but Thursday during the season has some decent ones, but Friday is the best yard sale day to me because if they start them on Friday, by Saturday, there's not much out there anyway. You'll get the ones that weren't on Friday, but there's typically a lot of sales where I live on Fridays. So I'm out there Thursday looking for some, and I'm out there on Friday for sure. Oh, then you need to go to the bins, Angie. There's a lot of good stuff at the bins, at least where I live, there are. And our bins in Oklahoma City look differently than a lot of the ones I've seen on some of the YouTube channels. We have not only the bins, our bins are separated. All the clothing's in bins, all the blankets, all the books, they're all in separate bins, the shoes, and then there's totes on a roller system that are about chest high, and that's where all the knickknacks and DVDs and pots and pans and handbags and all that stuff is. And and I haven't been in about probably 5 months because I've got so much stuff I don't need to be down there. But in the wintertime, I will definitely spend some time. Man, what are you doing up? Well, I was up filming a portion of my video for tomorrow there, Miss Journey. Welcome to the show. And I decided just to go live because I've been following some other people live at night. And I thought, you know what? I need to get on there and do my own little live. And the last 3 I've done are unannounced. So, hey, and you guys are an hour ahead of me, you people that are in Pensacola and Georgia and Ohio. Y'all are an hour ahead of me. And then Nate, he's way ahead of all of us. He's into Monday or Sunday already. So let's see. It's 11:30. It's 2:30 in the afternoon there, isn't it, Nate? Something like that. 2:30 or 3:30. Yeah, and we can't film our bands, but I have secretly filmed, and I just got me a GoPro 8. And if I can find a way to hide it, I will film down there. I want y'all to see what it looks like. But in the next, I don't know, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but pretty soon I'm going to get film I promised of the light show at the park that we have here in Yukon, and it's one of the best I've ever seen. So it's pretty cool. So I'll show you that Christmas thing. If you run it, I lock the gate. If I run it, I lock the gate. Night people don't get sunburns. That's true. That's true. Unless you have a tanning bed in your house. Yeah, and I sold Metroid on GameCube. I haven't sold it on Wii. I have it on Wii. I don't know if I have it on PS3. I'll have to look. Switch game cases for 10 each. Okay. So listen, if you're not getting out and sourcing, where are you getting your stuff? Or do you just have a death pile that would choke a horse like I do? You know, they had this on sale. It's normally like $400 something, and it was $299 at Best Buy. And then today, when I was in Target, they had it for $299. And I'm just now learning my way around that thing. So I'm trying to figure out how to get it from there to download to my. I guess I'd plug in the HDMI, right, and plug it to my YouTube, because I create my YouTube and my videos on a platform on my phone, not on straight onto YouTube. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'll figure it out. Keep up with the bobbies. Yeah, they had sevens on sale for 179. I thought, you know what, I should have got the 7, but I don't know the difference. So was a Wii version of it, was hidden in PS3 games. I do have the Wii for that game, Metroid, and I have it on GameCube, I think, too. But I'll have to look because I know there's different ones. Bluetooth. Bluetooth is how I upload it to an app on my phone. Man, I'm not that tech savvy, y'all. I think a former mayor of Atlanta must have tricked the CEO of Goodwill or something, because Atlanta is the biggest city I've seen in the U.S. that doesn't have a Goodwill bin store anywhere in the area. The black GoPro. Hey, once, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, put the GoPro app on your phone and link it. Oh, I do have the GoPro app on my phone. Okay, I got you. Your Geek Squad housemate may be able to help. Okay, all right. Well, and I'm not a fan of Goodwill anymore. I mean, I found some stuff in there obviously over time, but I just think that they've gotten into this reselling themselves, and they're getting the stuff for free, and then they're marking everything up to hurt the resellers and make. Of course, they're getting bigger profits, but they really don't help. I mean, they help people with jobs, but they don't pay people very well. I got a buddy that just got terminated after 11 years, and he was socially or physically challenged, and he got terminated because his girlfriend bought some bar stools and used his debit card, and they assumed that she was buying them for him, and he came by from his own store until after it's been out there for a week. And after 11 years, they terminated him. And I thought, they didn't give him a warning or anything. I said, you might want to check with the labor board on that one, because, I mean, let's face it, this guy, 11 years, and you're going to do that over that? There had to be more to this, and they do it all the time. I've gone there and, hey, buy this for me and I'll pay you later for it, Okay, all right. But because I knew they couldn't, and it was something I wasn't interested in. But I don't know. Sometimes they have too many rules, and doesn't seem like they're that great a company to me. And what's funny is I was thinking about something today. When I was born, we were poor. And in Wichita, Kansas, where I was born, the hospital I was born in was a Salvation Army hospital. And JT, somebody asked me today, I think it was Journey that asked me, where did you get JT? And I said, I got him at Goodwill. So here I was born in Salvation Army and JT was born in Goodwill. So we belong together. Hey, take care, Michelle. Stay safe. So what do y'all think about that? I'm a Salvation Army kid and JT's a Goodwill kid. Grew up in a trailer park kids. But Mama did the best she could, and none of us ever went to prison, so I'm happy with that. I adopted him from Goodwill. No, I didn't adopt him. I paid for him. And then my grandson, after about 3 days, had him. And then when I decided to start a YouTube channel, I didn't have him. And then as I got more into it and I started using some of these props I got, I thought, you know what? I need that puppet back, and he ain't playing with it. So I talked to him about it. Now every time he comes over, he tries to steal it from me. So if y'all remember the Richard Simmons one I used that time, he has it now because he keeps getting them, and he wants a Jeffy from that show that's on YouTube, the Jeffy thing with Mario. And as silly as it is, I laugh all the time about it. But that guy's got over 1 million viewers, and man, he makes some serious money driving a Lamborghini and stuff. And but those dolls, those puppets, are like $150 now. Your Goodwills are jacked up in price. There's only room for resellers. Worked at Goodwill in the 90s, and it was honestly a shitty company, sadly. Yeah, and if you know, the Salvation Army actually gives more to the community than Goodwill or most charities do. They are very good about sending most of their money to the bottom line and not paying high price CEOs and stuff like that. But they are definitely a stress driven company here. I know a lot of the people that work at the different Goodwills because I've hit so many of them, and they are definitely under quotas and things to push stuff to the floor. And sometimes I'm just amazed by what they pay their people and what they get away with, because I wouldn't do it for what they're making. But so Miss Journey's a night owl, Lissa's a night owl, I know Karen's a night owl, Nate's a next dayer. Who else is in here? Angie, are you a night owl too? And Angie said the other day, I saw in your video, I've just started seeing yours. Angie resells, for those of you that haven't seen her. And she's doing some giveaways, so you might check her out. The 12 Days of Christmas, like Ellen DeGeneres. Are they going to be as good a prizes as Ellen DeGeneres' prizes there, Angie? Semi-night owl, okay. And you've got your daughter selling now, too. I've got my youngest daughter doing a little bit of it, but she's not on the super enthusiastic part of it. I was young and stupid. Absolutely not as good. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's not like Ellen DeGeneres is giving away anyway. She's got all these sponsors and advertisers that are giving that stuff away. Hey, you just won $50,000 on the 12 of Christmas, and everybody in the audience is getting it too. Yay! So I guess Angie's isn't going to be like that. We're going to get I don't know. What are we going to get, Angie? What are the prizes? Do we even get to know what the 12 Days of Christmas prizes are? Are they going to be lit up turtle lights or gift cards, candles, IKEA bags? Yeah, I got like 4 of those. I can always use IKEA bags. There you go. Shoot, CapGuy better be a winner. All right, he knows where Pensacola is. There's a Navy base right near there, an air station, I think, still in there. Some good prizes. I did a video today to show everything. I got to go back and check it then, because I saw your video yesterday when you were talking about it, and you were talking about the eBay conflict, and you actually won that. I didn't win mine. eBay didn't side with me, but I didn't think they would anyway. The 12th day is an Amazon gift card. Okay. Yeah. You know who drives me nuts when they're shopping, of the big YouTubers? um, is Matt, Part-Time Pickers. He never puts anything in a cart. He always puts it in his hand, and he's trying to film, and he's making all these crinkling noises, and it drives me nuts. And I don't watch Nate or Matt anymore much, but I always was bothered by the fact that he would carry everything in his arms. I'm like, dude, you know you're going to buy a bunch of stuff. Get a cart. Get a cart. I always get a cart first because you never know what you're going to find. You and JT are the Thrift Brothers. Yeah, that's we're something brothers. I don't know what it is. We're brothers in crime or something. We're the Trailer Park Boys, and I've never even seen the show. Well, no, he didn't live in a trailer park. I did. He lived in a Goodwill. So, well, he's got a couple of jokes tomorrow, Journey, and they're not as funny as the one that I thought we had yesterday. The bread one. He when I told that joke, or he did, I just started laughing. When you laugh at your own stuff, you know that there's something wrong with you. So after his whole swindle deal on the hand, my view of him changed. Yeah, and I agree too. I mean, a lot of people defended him, and again, Matt's probably a great guy. It's just the way he kind of comes off sometimes. I just feel like he's a little bit on the. I don't know. I mean, there's some of them. I'm not going to sit here and talk about some of these YouTube guys that are big channels because some of them have blown up quickly and some of them are still small. But some of them I think are more into the YouTube and the video than they are teaching and actually going out and picking anymore. But I'm not going to name them. I mean, I still watch them from time to time. I don't watch as many of them as I used to. I do still watch Lonnie. I still watch John. I still watch Kevin, Tesla some. Once in a while, I'll turn on Harry Tornado, Rally Roots. I think Ryan's a really intelligent guy that knows a lot, especially about clothes and shoes. I don't think he knows about hard goods as much as some. And some of these guys are better pickers than they are creators, and some of them are better creators by far than they are pickers. In my case, I know I'm not a good YouTube creator, but I think I know what I'm doing when I'm picking. And really, when I say that, it's all about comping everything. You don't have to have knowledge of the item. It's just, first of all, I'm older, so I know what a lot of stuff is. And I see it and I'll say, man, I ain't seen that in years, or I don't know what that is. And unique sells. When you see something and you go, man, I haven't seen this bubble tape in years, I'm going to buy that, and so, are you going to comp it and look at it and see what it sold for? That bell I sold today. Oh, y'all haven't seen it yet. Never mind. I'll tell you, you'll see it tomorrow. I picked it up for $1 and I sold it for $35. So, I mean, you just don't know sometimes. And that's why I have a huge inventory. But you take your chances. If the cost of goods are low, take your chances. And typically you're going to make more than you paid for the item anyway. And yes, Harry Tornado grew like super fast. I'm still not a huge fan of his. But he's done some things that people like, and that's what matters. And I was listening to a guy that I've started watching on how to help my channel. And they tell you not to focus on the subscribers, and y'all know me and Nate have both been frustrated with that part of it, trying to get subscribers and thinking that our channel should be growing faster. And people tell us all the time, a lot of you tell me, and Nate, don't worry. And I tell Nate all the time, dude, don't get frustrated. Just keep plugging away. He's gotten by leaps and bounds better on editing and doing stuff. And I'm trying to learn all that as well. But as far as how I teach and how I respond and how I treat my customers and I'll answer all my comments. I mean, again, I'm a small channel, I can, but I'm trying to be transparent and teach, and I'll answer any question to help you. And some of you help me. I mean, everybody knows something that somebody else doesn't. And in some cases, you may know dishes and the collectibles more than I do, video games more than I do. I know a lot about sports jerseys would be my expertise. I know a lot about them. I've learned a lot about ball caps. A year ago, I didn't pick up ball caps that much, but I started learning about them and I started seeing what they sold for. So really, it's just about picking up something. And if the cost of goods are low, comp it and see if it's got some value. And if it does, that's when you grab it. And that's what it's all about. But I'm still doing it the hard way. I'm still picking. Lonnie is on, but I definitely gained some respect for Mr. Lonnie Shed Flips channel after what he did with his guy, and his guy gets him some good stuff. And I'm really interested in what Lonnie does, and um, uh, what he gets, and the stuff that he just picked up was very, very interesting. And I did buy something from him today because my kids used to watch Rugrats, and I love Rugrats. But anyway, Lonnie's the respect I gained for Lonnie today was immense, because he could have paid that guy a lot less, and a lot of you resellers would have done that, and he didn't take advantage, and he almost forced he did force the guy to take the money. But you know what? That just speaks to the class, and I like the fact that he refunds people when they buy multiple from him, and he does a lot of good things right, and I think that's awesome. So I better catch up on my comments here. And then Harry Tornado grew fast. That's correct. Drifted Harry Tornado selling for less than a year. Yeah, Harry Tornado's grown a lot, and G drifters have been selling based since 1998. HT. I was going to teach you. I've been on reselling since 04 part time. I really got into it in about 05 when I moved here, and UPS bought my company. Yeah, and well, see Lonnie. Hey, welcome, Lonnie. I appreciate it. Dang, I didn't know you were a night owl. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I understand that. He said he wouldn't trade it off one-off buy like that. But I mean, yeah, you get a lot of good deals off of your guy. And I don't have a guy. I have a lady that does storage cleanouts, and she sold me some pretty good stuff, some vintage salvage jeans and stuff like that. And I've made some decent money. Nothing to the level that you're doing, but well then, hey, push mine there, Mr. Lonnie. Oh, that's Nate talking. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, your guy's gotten you a lot of good stuff, and he's got a lot of knowledge. Your guy has. I mean, when he was answering those questions of some of the stuff that you had, and he's like, "What year was that?" Or and he definitely has some knowledge of what he's picking or wherever he's getting it. But yeah, you got a good deal, and I really enjoyed your card thing when you did that 10,000. That guy did that $10,000 card thing on you. I thought that was hilarious, because I was sitting there shaking my head, going, I was feeling your pain, going, oh my God, he got a $10,000 card and that stuff, and Lonnie just sold it for $4,000. I'm like dying. And then he says, oh, that was a joke. It was already in there. And you showed it. And I know he got you, but he got me too. He got me good. Because I was like, oh my God. And I just found a ton of Pokemon cards from the 90s and some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And there's probably 200 of them. And most of them are in pretty good shape. They're not, but I don't know enough about that stuff. And I don't want to take the time to go through every card. I did find a site on Google that you can just plug in the number on the card and it'll tell you. I just don't know enough about them, and they're like Hot Wheels. I have a ton of Hot Wheels, and I've made a lot of money off of loose Hot Wheels, and not necessarily red lines, but Hot Wheels. And I enjoy looking them up, but there's just time, and when you have time, oh, so Lonnie's tracking it. Did you try it? So you've already moved the Spanish Cassius Clay poster? Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Well, Lonnie, I appreciate you joining us. You were one of the first people I watched, and some of the people in this room have been following me since the 9 months that I've had a YouTube channel, and I've actually bought from you a couple times before. You told me then when I first started, you said, good luck with YouTube. It's not as easy as you think. And and it's frustrating at times. I mean, I've got 400 and I think 27 subs now in 9 months, and it just seems like it's hard to grow. And like you said, a lot of people, when you said it, you said a lot of people quit their first year. And there's plenty of times I've thought about it, but I got a lot of loyal people that follow my channel, those that do. And um, uh, and they've been loyal to me, and they've asked me to keep going because I am trying to teach. And I know that even when I get to 1,000 subscribers, $6 a month is not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to teach people and grow, and that's what I'm looking at. So, anyway, and hey, I appreciate you coming in though while you're listing it. Well, you're on the same time as me, about midnight. So, yeah, Nate lives in Australia there, Lonnie, and he's worked on his channel too. He sells a lot on Depop, and he's just now getting back into eBay, and I think he gets a little frustrated as well with some of the stuff. But hey, I appreciate you, Lonnie, and hey, get my my watches out and get them my Nickelodeon Rugrats ones, and I appreciate any shout out you do to my channel. I appreciate it. And sorry, messed up the comment. Will you tell us about the Mount Plushmore sale? Mount Plushmore. Mitten messed up. Oh, he's been selling the Beanie Babies. Have you not been watching him, Nate? He's been selling them in lots of like 75 to 78 and getting around 100 or so for each lot. So he's done better than I did with them, and I ended up giving mine to my kids, except for the ones with the quarter in the feet, because I know they're worth at least a quarter. So yeah, they're pretty much gone. Yeah, you did good with those in those Home Depot boxes. You had one guy bought a ton of them, and I'm assuming he's selling at flea markets or something, or he thinks there's collectibles in there. The funny thing about Beanie Babies for me is you'll go find them, and then you'll go, "Hey, there's one on here for $5,000." Yeah, there's state, Lonnie, there's state bears like Georgia, Louisiana. They came out with them, and they have the state quarter of each one in their feet. And I bought a bunch of them last summer, and I've got them listed on eBay, but I haven't sold them. And they all have the state quarter, and they have the little beanie with the Florida and Ohio and all that stuff. And of course, the ones. Anyway, but I know they'll always say they're worth a quarter because they got a quarter in their feet. So the worst case, I can always take the quarter out of the foot and sell it. And anyway, beanies, when I look at them and I think they're rare, and I go, "Oh man, this was an Air one. I've got the same Air, and so it should sell for $500." And that's not the case. You just never know. And I just really don't know how to tell the difference. So I stay away from them. I stay away from ties, that kind of stuff. So I think you should have done licensing deals like Funko does. Yeah. And I actually have a bunch of Funko Pops that I bought in bundle deals too. And I just bought a bunch of them, and I've sold 3 in the last 2 days of the same one. I bought like 20 of the same one. And first I thought, did I mess up? But now I'm only one more away from being in the profit. In the last 16, I'll be total profit. So again, I have over 3,500 listings, so I should be selling more than I do, but I always start high and come low. I don't do free returns, and I do some free shipping, but not a ton. But I do sell a lot of good things for big dollars that I find, and I believe in eBay unique sales, so I buy a lot of unique stuff. Yeah, 3,500 plus, to be honest with you. But I'm retired from UPS in sales. And so when I retired at 59, 2.5 years ago, I decided after the first year of sitting and watching Price is Right and let's make a deal, instead of being part-time, I'd go full-time, and I work 7 days a week. I ship every day. Now I'm making YouTube videos almost every single day, but I still don't have a big channel. I ain't even got to 1,000 yet. So maybe Lonnie can do the Tesla picker thing and help me out. Anyway, but and I do use a buddy of mine. And if you've ever watched my channel before, and I think you probably have. I actually did a parody of you a long time ago, Lonnie, running back and forth. And then I have this guy, and he's in his new shirt, Dynamite. And this is JT. He's an Okie, and he's mouse moving even though I'm the one talking. So there you go. But I'm trying to make my channel unique, and he does the intro, and we tell stupid jokes, and there you go. And some people think it's funny, and some people don't. But it's different, and it's different than everybody else's. So you might want to check out a couple of my channels. Matter of fact, check out my last one, the very last video while you're listening. And his jokes were so funny, they made me laugh. And I'm telling the jokes, well, through him. And anyway, it is what it is. But sales are sales, profit's profit. And I had a pretty good day yesterday. So my goal is to make 150 a day. And that's what I try to do. And I don't always do it. And sometimes I make a lot more, like yesterday. Jimmy Walker one time. Oh, wow. Tony Roma's, JJ. And of course, I'm old enough to remember good times. So, and day before, he was singing Depeche Mode songs. So you have to check us out. Let us know what you think. I'd appreciate your opinion on it. And I know Nate's goal is $30 a day, but hey, that covers your expenses. And you know, eBay is all about memories, and it's also about, for us, it's about, you know, whatever your needs are in life. If $30 a day is your goal, $150 a day is your goal, $500 a day, or somebody like Rally Roots that wants to make $5,000 a day because they sell a lot of retail arbitrage. Whatever makes you happy and whatever you want to push for, that's you. But I do hard picking where I'm picking every day something, and my death pile would choke a horse. I could probably list another 3,500 items, to be honest with you. But I'm so far behind, and I keep picking. So what show was awesome there, Lonnie? Oh, Good Times. Okay, I got you. Well, All in the Family was good too, and it was just the opposite. Of course, you know, Archie Bunker just had that stupid New York sense of humor, which I always enjoyed. But anyway, yeah. And of course, I'm retired and I get a pension, but I enjoy doing it, and I'm doing pretty good in sales this year. Last year I went over the 20,000. I was trying to stay under it because I'm a veteran like you, and of course I'm ex-Navy, and I tried to stay under it, and I went over it. So this year I said, "Oh, to heck with it! I'm just going to go for it." So, and you worked at did you work for Apple? You worked for some tech. I know you worked for some tech people. I can't remember. No job again. Well, I'll never go back into transportation. I spent 35 years in it, the last 20 with UPS. But yeah, and I work harder than I did then, but I don't have the stress that I had at UPS. It's a very stressful company. But hey, they give me a check every month for the rest of my life, so I'm not complaining. But it took a lot to get there. Single Beanie Babies with no other comps or money laundering. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be 62 in April. So as hard as I've worked this year, sometimes, and I almost just built a shed. I was thinking about doing a 16 by 16 and moving it out there because all my stuff is actually in my garage. I've got all the shelving and the racks, and I've got SKUs on my stuff. I don't have a Candace shelf or anything, but I've got, you know, a C shade, kind of like John, except I don't have a mixture of stuff in bins. I've got all T-shirts and they're bagged and all that kind of stuff, and jeans, and I do a lot more clothing than you do. Although I am trying to move away from it, except for the vintage, like T-shirts and things like that. And I have a lot of shoes, but my specialty is sports jerseys. That's what I know most about. Of course, thank you for being at LSU and beating my Longhorns last year in Austin. But I'm glad you beat the crap out of the Sooners because I live here and I have to put up with them people. But did A&M beat them tonight? I'm assuming they did. Last I looked, they were ahead of them. But anyway, yes, jerseys are what I know about, and ball caps, and I do buy a lot of those. But I buy a lot of other stuff, video games, I did get lucky enough to get an Xbox One TV today at Best Buy online. I finally got in. So you're eating what now? What are you eating? Eating crow or what? Oh, you got waxed. Okay. Yeah, A&M's pretty good. They may give Alabama a run. I don't know. Alabama, I think, beat Auburn pretty good too. There's a beauty in making your own hours. Yeah, and I get up at 6 in the morning, and I usually here I am. It's midnight, and I'm still up. So um, as I get older, I might take a 30-minute nap in the daytime, and then I get up and start doing it again. And I try to list, 35 a day, and then there's some days where I only get 10 done or 5 done. But typically, I try to push for about 30 or so a day listings. And everybody says you got to list $300 worth of stuff if you want to make 150. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I do run a lot of sales. I do send a lot of offers, and I tweak my prices constantly, and it works. So Tony Roma's more than Jimmy Walker. Well, there you go. See what you did, Lonnie? She misses Tony Roma's more than she misses Jimmy Walker. Well, I miss In-N-Out Burger because we don't have that here in Oklahoma. We had it in Arizona, and I've lived all over the country. Before I lived here, I lived in Arizona, and before that, I lived in Southeast Texas, Beaumont, not too far away from Mr. Lonnie. And I fell in love with Cajun food, boudin and gumbo and crawfish. And a lot of people don't eat mud bugs or suck the heads off of them, but I'm sure Lonnie does. Although, Lonnie, you don't have the Cajun accent like a lot of them down there, and you don't talk like Justin Wilson by any means. A mud bug is a crawfish. That's one of the words they call, and same thing with oysters in the South over there. They call them slickens, but I don't eat raw oysters. So, but yeah, mud bug is a crawfish, and if you never had them, they're a lot of work, but you push them, pull them, suck the juice out of the head on the back side of it, and they call them mud bugs because they crawl around in the mud. Yeah. Boss, the first time when I lived in Beaumont, I was in the American Legion post, and they were putting they were boiling up a mess of crawfish. And first, you got to put them in water, and you put the salt in, and you got to get them to purge, throw up, and then they fish out the dead ones, and then put them in a pot and boil them, and throw in their corn and their potatoes and all the other things that you put in there. Then they drain that and put them in the cooler and throw the Tony Chachere's all over it. And then you get you a beer flat and some beer and a mess of crawfish and potatoes and corn on the cob. Whew, man, that's some eating there. Man, I'm about to give me a bag of crawfish now. Yeah, and they're devein them like shrimp. You got to devein them too. And we used to go seining for them down in Texas where I grew up and sell them at the bait store for a penny a piece when I was a kid. And that got us a candy bar and some Cokes and maybe chips. And 3 of us used to go seining. And hey, it's what you do when you're poor and you live in a trailer park. Dodgers going up, the neighbors running their pump in the next field. Nate has a frisbee golf course on his property in Australia, and it's in a bunch of boulders, and he has a dog named Dodger that he puts a GoPro on and he chases the dog or chases the frisbee. So that's pretty cool if you've never checked that out. So, Angie, you live in Pensacola and you don't know what a mud bug is? Oh, but you're from Ohio originally, I think, didn't you say? So Lonnie, did you get your 20 in, or are you still working on that? I think I've listed maybe 8 or 9 tonight. I haven't done that many. Oh, okay, from Ohio. Like I said, I used to go there a lot with Emery and Purolator before UPS in Dayton and Columbus. I liked Columbus. That was pretty nice. I'm not a Buckeye fan, but I liked it. She's all about the chili. Oh, I'm mostly watching you. Oh, okay. Well, cool. I appreciate it. I really do. I really do. And by the fact, I was showing you Mr. JT a while ago. I found him a hat, and it's a kid's hat. And I saw it, and I said, he's got a narrow head, so you can't get a hat that stay on him. And I always putting adult hats on him. So I thought, hey, I maybe want to do a parody of thanks for your support. Do one for John there. So I may have to do that in the next couple of days with JT, but with his Dynamite shirt on. And anyway, watch my video tomorrow and you'll see him in action with that Dynamite. That'll be his coming out party. But I've done one before with John where I had him with the Cincinnati hat on, but it was too big and it kept coming off of him. All my hats that he wears fall off because they're all adult hats. So he's worn masks and he's messed around with this guy back here. Mamas, don't let your aliens grow up to be cowboys. And then up there is my collection of Game of Thrones stuff because I'm a big Game of Thrones guy. Wow, Man Mountain Link's in the house. And me and Man Mountain Link, Lonnie, we both own one of these. Don't we, Man Mountain Link? Lonnie's in the house. We both own one. And the first time I used it, I cut myself on this end. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You guys are too much. See, we support you, and I bought from Cincinnati. I bought from Tesla. I bought from Kevin a couple of times. I bought from you a couple of times. I bought from Matt. But things I need, and of course today I bought the. Yeah, I won't sue you. I promise I won't sue you. I bought the. What did I buy from you today? Oh, I bought the Nickelodeon watches and the Rugrats, and I was like, and I was surprised to see how much that how much the Apollo coins. You said you were going to keep one because they were cool, and you had 3 of them. And I thought, I wonder how much you're going to get for those. And I saw you sold one for like $14.99. I was like, oh, okay. So you definitely got a lot of smalls in there to go through. That's for sure. So, yeah, MMA. I've been telling them about you in my videos. If you've been watching, you've been under the weather. I guess he had a flu shot, and I don't know did you have a reaction to it or something, but yeah, you definitely priced them cheap, and I bought both of them today. So, hey, you don't wait till Wednesday to ship them out now. I ship every day. Lots of $10 to $20 smalls, but I love that stuff. Yeah, I prefer the big ticket items like the plush I bought here recently. A bunch of Sonic and Plants versus Zombies and Angry Birds, and made like $26 for 94 pieces. I've already made over $400, and I've got half of it left. It's just crazy what that stuff sells for. It just amazes me. But watch my video earlier today, Lonnie, and you'll see some of the stuff and what I talk about, because I'm always telling people where I got it, how much I paid for it, how much I made off of it, and sometimes I show it live like you do. I don't go showing me going and getting it, although I have done a parody of you doing that on one of my videos. So there you go. Did I kidnap somebody? No, that's JT. You've been watching me lately. That's JT's buddy. He has a different hat on every day. The other day he had a cavalry hat on. Now he's got the cowboy hat. He's had other hats. He's had a sombrero on at one time. So you need to watch more Mountain Link, and instead of just sending me Shine. Never mind. I didn't say that, did I? And by the way, I still think that was straight Shine I got from you. I don't think that was watered down Shine. So, by the way, Lonnie, if you need any, I know where you can get some. And me and my Bell's gonna say, you better quit telling people what I'm sending you. You better send me some money, or I might call the. You live in the state of Tennessee, and I know that that's where Buford Pusser was with Walking Tall. He'll probably, if he wasn't dead, the mafia might get you. You like the Shine? Man Mountain Link actually has a place, and this is a true story. It's on one of his videos. If you go back and watch him, the other day he did a story where back in the 60s, I think it was 61, a train derailed in Tennessee and flipped, and it was hauling moonshine, and it went into the aquifer. So he went down there and they built this gazebo with this water fountain that's constantly running. And he filled up some skull jars and sent them to some people. And I said, well, hey, where's my skull jar with shine? And I'll be dang if he didn't send it to me. And he filled that jar totally full. And I smelled it. And it's in one of my videos too. And then I sipped it. And I mean, it was like a baby sip, like a baby spoon sip. And I about fell out of my chair and stumbled to the bedroom because it was strong. So I don't think it was. I think he sent me straight shine, or else that moonshine evaporated all the water in that aquifer, and it's just the moonshine one. But if you're a drinker, you want to probably go to that place and just live right by that gazebo so you can drink all the time for free. So, pop-up lives. Yeah, this is my third pop-up live that I haven't announced. I just decided to go live. You went to a moonshine place in Gatlinburg. They were doing a sample tasting, shot after shot after shot. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker. I mean, I've got a 6-pack of beer in my icebox. There's probably 3 of them left, and it's 6 months old. So I'm not a big drinker, and I do keep vodka and Jack Daniels, stuff like that around here, but I rarely drink. And so the moonshine, I've taken 1 sip, but every day I go, one of these nights I might just take another sip of that. Then I might fall down and break my neck. Then JT will have to do my shows. Awesome, Lonnie. You envy that. The only time I drank probably more than I should have when I was in the Navy in a foreign port. And we went to a lot of them. And I grew up around the Air Force. I know you were Air Force, Lonnie. I grew up around the Air Force, Bergstrom Air Force Base in Austin. But my uncle was a career Air Force, and I thought, man, that's like an 8-to-5 job. I want to travel. And I did. I went to every continent in the world in 4 years, except for South America and Antarctica. So I definitely got to see the world, but I was at sea a lot, and there is a lot of water out there. If you had your trolls, you would drink. You have a lot of trolls that are on your channel. I get upset when I get a thumbs down. I don't know how many thumbs down you get, but you get probably 10,000 views when I get 100 views. So you can't worry about it, but it doesn't mean I don't. You're good, sir. You're lightweight with your measuring spoon. I am a lightweight, MML. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I am a lightweight around that. Kids floating around Western Australia. No, I guarantee you they're not around Australia. If anything, well, I'm not even going to get into it. There's ladies on this show. Let's just say there are probably other places, not Australia. Thank you all for your service. Oh, hey, thanks, Avelina Flips. And it was a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I was saying earlier, 38 years ago today is the day I left my aircraft carrier, the USS Constellation, in Coronado, California, and came home. So out of the Navy. And my first ship was in Charleston, South Carolina, the USS Wainwright. It was a cruiser. And I was a radioman in communications. Trolling anyone. Yeah. Truth, Lonnie. Trolls can tweak your nerves. Yeah. What did I do? I was a radioman, E5, when I got out. And I went to boot camp in Orlando, went to A school in San Diego, and then I went to the USS Wainwright and made a med cruise, spent a month off Nicaragua in '79, went to the Panama Canal, the Mediterranean, and then I came back, and I have an inner ear thing, and I get motion sick in heavy seas on a small ship, and then I ended up on an aircraft carrier, which I didn't have to worry about because they don't rock. They're 80,000 tons. SATCOM, we did, I was in from 78 to 82. I'm older than you by a few years. And I didn't learn Morse code because that wasn't something that we had to learn, and I didn't need it. But mainly I was, when you first start, you got to do all the printer, teletype. We did a lot of typing, teletype type stuff, UHF, HF, satellite. And then on the carrier, we did a lot of I was the supervisor and the or leading petty officer, NCO in the transmitter receiver room, which was up in the island of the aircraft carrier. And then our berthing area was one deck below the flight deck, all the way on the bow of the ship. And so the planes, when they took off and they hit the catapults every night, but we worked 17-hour days pretty much every day. In the Navy, you don't get days off at sea. So if you're at sea 51 days, you work 51 days. They don't want you getting homesick and getting into fights. So you sleep through that stuff. You get used to it. It's like living next to the train tracks. You get used to it and you sleep through it if you're tired. The thing, I always woke up at 10 o'clock every night. The chaplain would come on, and I would always wake up when he would come on, and it used to bug the crap out of me. But anyway, in port, I would do the antenna maintenance. So we would go up on the mast, and then we did all the wire rope antennas around the aircraft carrier. And I did that and then we did a Westpac, which means we went to Hawaii, Philippines, Singapore, Kenya, Australia, all those places. So I got to go see a lot of stuff. And I love Coronado too there, Annie. And I love San Diego, probably the best climate in the world. I mean, 70s, no humidity, just nice. All right, take care, Nate. Appreciate you, buddy. And so anyway, we are the community. I was watching a movie tonight, and I was telling about the what was I watching? Crimson Tide, and I was talking about the messages, the EAMs that were coming in, and I was saying, I remember all that stuff, and that was our department. Anything messages that came in or out of that ship went through us. Whether it was a death message from a family member to somebody on the ship, to top secret messages on Russian sub activity or whatever it was, we were the ones that saw it all. We had top secret clearances, and that's what we did. But it was port and starboard, which means we were on duty or off. There was no days off. So he was a Marine on the carrier. Okay. Yeah, there's a Marine detachment, not on a lot of ships unless they're amphibious ships in the Navy, but on a carrier, there's always a detachment, and the captain's little bodyguard is usually a Marine as well. But there's not that many. On a carrier, there's 5,000 people, so it's a floating city, and 5 meals a day are served. So, yeah, ComSec was a pain. Yeah. Communications can be it's fun, but it's funny. On the carrier I was on, my master chief, which is an E9, had been in the Navy for 32 years. And he had been in so long, he used to come up into the island at night, and we'd be off the coast of San Diego doing carrier qualifications with the planes. And the planes aren't based on the carrier. They're based on land base until you go on a deployment. And then they go with us for the deployment, which is usually 6 months. But he had been in so long, he taught his wife Morse code. And so he would come up and dial up an HF frequency from 15 miles off the coast of San Diego, and they would just back and forth to each other. And I used to sit there and just laugh and go, Master Chief, you've been in it too long when your wife can do Morse code with you if you're in the transmitter room. But yeah, it was what it was. It was fun. And there's some good memories. More than the Navy, I miss all the guys. I miss all my buddies and all the things we did. And I've lost a few since then, but I'm still in touch with most of the guys that were close to me in the service. And even my master chief on my first command, I'm still in touch with him in South Carolina. And he served in the Army and the Navy on surface ships and submarines. And I think he spent 33 years or something like that in. So he's still going. He's still going. So that's crazy. Yeah. 5,000 people. Yeah. And a carrier, we had Reagan come on board in August 20th of 81. And that was pretty cool. And that was pretty cool. I'm older than most of you guys in this room. So except for maybe one. Even MML is younger than me. Stanthorpe must be Aussie Dinos or something. You just learn the word daggy. Yeah, when they talk, you have to, and the same way with the British, when they talk, you got to pay attention because some of the words they say, And then they eat a lot of pies. And I was laughing. I always tease Nate and them about every time they go in a place that they get a egg and cheese and bacon pie, or they get a beef pie, or the other day was a spaghetti and bologna pie or something. I'm like, don't y'all eat like food that's not in a pie? But I guess that's what they do. And then he likes sugar beets. And I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, not that I don't like beets, but I'm not eating those. That's not my preference. Like green bean casserole at Thanksgiving. I'd rather have cornbread dressing and turkey and the stuff I don't get, fruit salad and all that stuff. I can get green bean casserole anytime. October 59. I was born in April of 59. So yeah, you're almost there with me. Yeah, English to English dictionary for sure, for sure. Wow. Did you hear beets? Yeah, sugar beets. Yeah, and I was talking about pies too, if you were listening. Spinach Madeline, and I don't know what spinach Madeline is. I'd say my favorite is probably the cornbread dressing, and then I would say, and of course, turkey and ham, mashed potatoes, and all that stuff. Stuffed celery sticks, deviled eggs, split rolls. But I don't know what mother's spinach. I love spinach, but I don't know what spinach Madeline is. What is that? Yeah, somebody else asked that question too. There you go. Karen did. Stuffing you stuff into the dang bird. Well, you can, or you can make it without the bird. You don't have to put stuffing in a bird. Angie's 49. Yeah, you're a youngin' there, Angie. You probably don't hear that all the time, but yeah, you're a youngin'. I mean, I got 3 kids that are. I didn't have kids till I was 27. My youngest is 27, almost 28, 31, and 33. And then I have 5 grandkids and 1 on the way. And that'll be the last one, I think. Yeah, Angie's a baby. Yeah. A very early age. Hey, my mom's only 16 years older than me, so don't get much younger than that. And I was teasing earlier, I don't know if y'all heard it, but I picked up JT at Goodwill. And when I was born, we were poor, and I was born in it's called Booth Memorial Hospital in Wichita, Kansas, and it was a Salvation Army hospital. So I was born in Salvation Army, and he's born at Goodwill, so we belong together. There you go, right? Getting close to 50, freaking me out. Oh, 50's nothing. When do you get to 60? That's the one that bothered me. That's the one that bothered me the most. 50 didn't bother me a bit, but 60 did. And what did my mouth say? 49 when he was born at a very early age. You just never know what MML is going to say there, Alyssa. He sometimes I shake my head and I go, what did he say? What did he say? And I thought I had a warped sense of humor, but MML is definitely the king of that stuff. Yeah, it does. It seems like yesterday, Lonnie, I was just 24 years old, and now I look up and I'm going, man, you're almost 62. Should I take Social Security or should I just keep doing this? And I don't know. It's and then of course right now in the times that we're in with COVID, it makes it even worse because then you worry about it. And although I don't have any underlying conditions that I'm aware of, high blood pressure, diabetes, or anything, I am overweight, and that, even though a year ago I lost 60 pounds and COVID's put it back on me, but yeah, I would go back to my 20s, but I don't know if I'd go back too young in 20s, maybe 24, 25. But if I did, I would do things. Some of it I do the same, but I wished I knew what was going to happen and be 24. Then I would definitely I would own Dell and Amazon. I don't know. Maybe not. I definitely wouldn't be Boeing, that's for sure, after that deal they did on Boeing last night. I don't know if I'm getting on a 737X for a while after those start flying again, even though I'm sure they fixed it. But when you're all about greed, I ain't getting on one of them until they've gone for a while. So, yeah, people in their 20s. Nowadays, I mean, to be honest, they didn't have to do half the stuff we did when we were younger. I mean, and again, my kids think I'm Ward Cleaver because my favorite show as a kid was Leave It to Beaver, and I've always grown them up talking about those analogies, like walking 2 miles to school, which we did, and not having a real phone or a cell phone or even FM radio didn't come around till '73, and now it's FM, and we had record players. We didn't even have cassettes or 8 tracks until later, and the phone was on a phone line. And I mean, these people, they just don't know. We didn't have video games at all. Pong was the first one I remember, and I was older then. So there's a lot of stuff that people, we played outside. We played outside, played cowboys and Indians, BB guns, and shot fireworks, and knocked on people's doors and ran and toilet paper things and stupid stuff. But we were happy. Roller skated a lot. Spent a lot of my years in a roller skating rink. What show did you like? Oh, Leave It to Beaver. Okay. Yeah, that's my favorite show as a kid, even though it's probably as corny as all, but still, I loved it because my mom wore pearls every day when she cleaned the house too. Not, she kept it really clean, but she didn't wear pearls ever. We didn't have that kind of money. That was funny. As if, yeah, Drifter 3. Yeah, I think MML was a wrestler back in the days. He doesn't say it, but I really think he was a wrestler. And I don't think he fought Andre the Giant or anything, but he's not a little guy. I'm Southern. We do dressing in the pan, not stuffing. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like bread dressing. I like cornbread dressing. I mean, I'll eat whatever, but too much pressure on kids right now to fit in, look the right way, have the right clothes. I don't think that's any different than it was back when I was a kid. There was always, I mean, again, I grew up in a trailer park, so all the kids around me were poor, but there were kids at school that were military because I grew up across from an Air Force base, and because there was some areas that had some money, and you knew who the kids were that had money, but we also knew that it wasn't their money; it was their parents' money. But and back then, it wasn't. The clickiness was more about not so much even race or anything. It was about the jocks kind of hung together. What we called the freaks, which were the hippie kids that smoked pot over at the pad, this place we called the pad, or they were the cheerleader bunch, and they hung out, or there was there were just different cliques. The cowboys, which we called the kickers, where I came from, they all were a clique. So it was more about cliques than it was, about each other, racially or anything like that, because we were really integrated in my school. So most of that's ignorance anyway. Lonnie, to that, I have the body and energy of 25. I second that. To have the knowledge, but to have the body and energy of 25. Y'all don't have the energy of 25? Y'all don't, I mean, I take naps just to stay 25. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with that, Angie, a lot. Social media. I mean, even for us, I mean, people, like Lonnie said earlier, trolls. I mean, they're so hateful, and they're more hateful because they're on a computer and they're not in front of you. Because a lot of people wouldn't say what they say in front of you that they would on a computer. But yeah, people have done some stupid stuff to people on computers and caused people to unfortunately kill themselves and everything else. And it's just sad. Yeah, we didn't have that kind of bullying um, for sure in school, and people back then fought with their hands. We didn't fight with guns and shoot people and stuff like they do prevalently today. But yeah, social media is definitely toxic. I agree with that. And cell phones driving down the road is another thing. That's a dangerous thing that I sometimes wish maybe there was a way to shut them off when you start your car or something. But I mean, do you really need to be on the phone when you're driving down the road? We used to not. You had to, if you even back to times you had a beeper, you had to go pull over and use a payphone to call somebody. But I can feel I use that time wisely. Well, you got one in college too. So, and how old's your youngest daughter, Lonnie? I know you got one teenager and one in college, right? Yeah. Yeah. And of course, I was in sales in trucking. So, or manager. So if I was out, when I went to stop and make a customer, or when I was a driver early on, I would just ask to use their phone while I was in the office making a delivery. But, oh, the youngest is 11. I'll say she's not quite a teenager yet then. Okay. Yeah. And I raised three girls by myself. So, and I love raising girls over boys because I had all brothers and I'm the oldest of four boys. And, and definitely, what I found is that, um, girls are great until they're about 14, and then boys come into the picture, and then it's like, oh man, this is hard. Hey, welcome, Callie Reseller Lewis. I was on your channel last night. I appreciate it. Y'all check out him. He was talking about pallets last night, the pallets that he buys and flips, and that was pretty interesting. I haven't gotten into the pallets, but I don't have the energy you do anymore. I mean, I work 7 days a week, a lot of hours, but I I've got 3,500 plus listings on eBay, and I probably got that many waiting to list in my death pile. So I don't need to buy more stuff, especially pallets. But you definitely sound like you got it going on out there in California. And I was stationed out there in Coronado, I was saying earlier. So I love San Diego. Just I almost became a police officer out there, but I was 300th on the waiting list. And my time to get out of the military came, and I went home to Texas. So what's the drawback to raising girls? I have one boy. The drawback to raising girls is that they're great until they're about 14. Then boys come in the picture, and then the infighting of you got my shirt on, you got my blow dryer, you got my makeup, all that stuff. And when they're little, it was easy, but boys are just rough and loud. And even with my grandkids, the girls are, well, I can't say that because Everly's almost 3 and she's rowdy as the boys are. But yeah, Coronado is nice. But that's the rich part of, hotel, Coronado and all that, and the amphib base. I got a buddy that I served with that became a Navy SEAL. I tried out for Navy SEALs and I couldn't even make it past a swim test. And I was in good shape, but not to swim like they do. But I do. And girls are typically closer to daddy anyway. So that's another thing about girls. And all my girls are. So it would lead to that. Well, I mean, it makes it easier, Lissa, in some ways, but in other ways, I would say, yeah, you're right. It's not. Um, and hey, I'm a daddy first, Lonnie. I always say that when I die, if those kids say that man was always there for me, then my life's been worth everything, regardless of anything else in my life. That's what I live for more than anything, and that's what I want out of this life. So um, I didn't have a dad around when I grew up. Matter of fact, I never knew my real dad. I found him about 4 years ago through DNA, and I found out I have three older sisters, and he died in '84. He was a head concierge at the Hilton in Las Vegas for years and knew all the big people and was their kind of their go-to to get them women and whatever else they wanted. And he died, and I never got to know him. But I have three older sisters, one in Kansas, one in Texas, and one in California. And everybody in my family accepted me. Nobody had an inkling I existed. and I didn't know who he was until I did the DNA on Ancestry, and I found him, and it's been amazing. It's been really amazing. So it's never too late to find your family in Canada. So where are you, Annie? If he's in Canada, where are you at? Karen's dad's 93, and he's still alive too. I think the Pope was on something when he asked people to give up trolling at least for Lent. Arizona. Oh, I used to live in Glendale. Used to live in Glendale. Lived there 5 years from 2000 to 2005. I was a terminal manager for overnight before UPS bought us. In Quebec. Oh, the French people. I lived in Albany, New York, and Oswego, New York for a while too. Back back in the late 80s, early 90s. I've lived all over the country. Southeast Texas, Dallas, South Carolina, California. I've lived everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Yeah. Y'all want to sing with me, or you can let me do it by myself? Yeah, Nate, don't give up. Karen had a son, and he's now 26, and has his own little baby. What statement was that? I have been everywhere. I got lucky. Um, I went to 13 schools growing up, and again, we were like I said, we didn't have a lot of money, but my mom raised four boys and worked. She was a union meat wrapper at Safeway at the end of her career, until they closed in Texas. And like I said, we grew up in trailer parks, but none of us ever went to prison. Three of us served our country, and one of us is a city of Round Rock, Texas, city manager or training manager, and he's got a master's. And I've got one brother in Texas, two brothers in Texas, and two of us are up here, and my mom's up here. Bobby, and tell Lonnie he's a good kid. Yes, Bobby, and tell Lonnie he is a good kid. Not sure. Yeah, and I've been to every continent, like I said earlier, except for South America and Antarctica. I've been to the canal. I'd say Africa. I mean Africa. Australia was probably my favorite country west, and I'd say Spain on the to the east in Europe, and enjoyed it. But man, nobody realizes how much water is in the world, and it's mostly water until you've been at sea in the middle of thousands of miles in the Pacific of Ocean for 51 days or so without seeing land. There's a lot of water out there. So she is, and she still is. She's 78. She's starting to fail now. She fell the other day, and she's not doing real well. She hurt herself pretty bad, and I think she's just bruised real bad on her ribs and stuff. She didn't break them, but she's got degenerative eye disease. She had a major heart attack at 65, and for 2.5 weeks was in ICU and almost didn't make it, but she has. But unfortunately, she still smokes on top of everything else. And as much as I ride her, when she dies, and I understand Nate lost his mom and he's really close to her. And not that any of us aren't, but that was going to kill me. That was going to kill me because my mom's only 16 years older than me. So I practically raised her and she raised me basically. But family's everything. I believe that through all this crap with family, and I believe in blood over everything else. And instead of politics, and I don't normally talk politics on my channel, and I'm not going to, but a lot of my family's gotten divided over this thing, and I'm just, guys, you can't change a dang thing that they're going to do. So let's stay family first, because family matters, and when the chips are down, that's who's going to be there, not some politician. So I don't know. That's the way I look at things. But I've also lived a long time and seen a lot of stuff. Still, like everything, whether you're an eBay seller or in life, you don't know everything. You learn every day, and we can never not learn from someone else because there's always somebody there to teach us. And I learn every day. That's why I watch other YouTubers, to learn and see some of the things they pick. And hopefully they look at some of the things that I pick, because I think I do. And again, it all goes back to comping. If the cost of goods are low and the value is good, pick it up. I don't care. I sell Mary Kay. Lonnie, I sold makeup before you picked all that stage stuff off. And I just got lucky. I found some Mary Kay at a yard sale. Now I found 3 bundles of it, and I've made over $800 off of a $145 buy. So, yeah, you're right, Lonnie. Until we get lobbyists and PAC committees and stuff out of DC, we're never going to change anything that goes on in Washington. So, and they're divided. Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. So it's not worth getting into families not talking to each other, because me and my brothers, we hardly ever fought growing up, but now there's some division there, and it really bothers me. And I don't think any of them really care about any of us anyway. To be honest with you, I don't think either side cares 100% about the common person, and that's just the way it is. But Anyway, we just have to care about each other, and that's the whole thing. Whether it be an eBay reseller family or our own families, we're the only ones that can take care of ourselves. But yep, yep, yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. So, Lewis, out there in California, I guess you do pretty good with the pallets. How long have you been reselling? I didn't ask you that last night in your chat. How long have you been doing reselling? You said since you're like 8 or something with your dad at flea markets and stuff. That's pretty cool. So you learned. I've got a grandson that kind of thinks he's a mini me, but Bobby's moving there now. I've actually thought about moving to Maui. I've been to Hawaii like 4 times in the last 5 years. The Big Island and Maui 3 times, and I love Maui. I just don't know if I could live there for the time difference and the fact that football's at 6 a.m. and I just can't get into football at 6 a.m. But this year it doesn't matter because my Longhorns and my Cowboys stink. So, and I know Lonnie's paying with LSU this year too. But you got a national championship last year, so sorry about your boy going down the other day at Cincinnati. And of course I lost Dak Prescott too, but they were stinking before that happened. Yeah, 3 a.m. there. And Nate's a big Buffalo fan. For those of you who don't know, he follows, and he's in my fantasy league. And he is in second, and I'm in fourth right now in the league. So, Locke's not playing for Denver tomorrow? I didn't know that. Well, good. I think I forgot who's playing Denver, but I've got somebody playing against them tomorrow. Of course, I've got McCaffrey on this team, and he has only played very little, so that's what's hurting me. But I'm still holding on to fourth. So I just got to get through a few more weeks to get the playoffs. Then maybe I can knock off Mr. Nate. I'm in 4 leagues, and I am in second in one, third in one, fourth in one, and I think like 6 in another one. So, oh man, no quarterback at all. Hey, well they got Peyton up in the stands. Maybe they can bring her or Elway. Bring them out of the booth. Bring them down there. Well, I've got a Pittsburgh receiver too, and that's Claypool, and he did really good. And now he's like, yeah, and he likes American football, but he follows that NRL. They've got Australian rules, they got rugby, and then they got the NRL out there in Australia. And Elway let Elway come out there and play. He was good. Especially he was good in 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go, bring Elway in. He was great. Yeah, he did really good when he got like 40 points and stuff. But here lately, I think last week he did okay, but he hasn't been doing great. Trying to remember who my team is tomorrow. I've got Wilson as my quarterback, and you can say what you want about him, but I'm not a big Seattle fan, but I do love Russell Wilson as quarterback. I got Wilson, Anderson, Claypool, Hunt, Gallman for the Giants because I don't have McCaffrey, Henry, and Edwards, the running back for Baltimore Tuesday. And then I got Myers, the kicker, and the New Orleans defense, which has been doing really well here lately. So they've been getting some pretty good points. Bobby keeps picking up my garbage, and they go off. I'm not picking up your garbage. Nate's one of these guys that he'll go out and he's in like second place with the most points in the league. And then he wants to send trades to people and get Kelsey and other people. I'm like, why would they get rid of Kelsey? Well, they're at the bottom of the league. They ain't going anywhere anyway. So they're going to help you build your team better. I mean, come on now. They're going to make your team better. If I'm at the bottom and I'm in 12th place, guess what I want to be? I want to be the spoiler. I want to knock the top guys out of the playoff because, I mean, it's fantasy football. You want to win. If you've got any kind of competitive spirit, I'm not going to let you take my best players just because I'm not going to make the playoffs. I'm going to try to knock you off at the end of the season. So there you go. That's my thought on it. Orange Crush. They can't make their team. Yeah, they can't. Well, getting rid of Kelsey's not a good thing for a person. If they've got him, he's one of the best tight ends in the league, if not the best. So, and And remember, not just the top 4 play in a playoff. There's a consolation between 5 through 8. So at least you get to play another couple of weeks if you win. So some shady deals. No, because nobody's trading, and he gets mad because we're not trading with him. I traded with him, but he didn't give me anything great, and I didn't give him anything great. My biggest issue is I lost McCaffrey early on, and then I got him back for a week, and I lost him again. And I didn't see. He was last I saw. It was really doubtful, and now it's saying he might play. Let me look. Nope, he's out tomorrow. He's done. Oh well. And I've got one league where I've got Jackson and Henry on the same team, which is not bad. But I don't think who is it that's not playing tomorrow? Is it Jackson? Oh, Jackson, I think it is. It has COVID. So I don't know. It's like I said. Yeah, Odell. Yeah, Odell Beckham. He's never been other than when he was at New York. He's never been really that great. Yeah. Well, you know who's even worse than that, Lonnie, is the people that drafted Saquon Barkley because he didn't even make it out of 1 week, and he's out for the year. And man, and another one that I did pick up and I've got as a backup is Bear from the Chargers, and he's done really well. So when I don't have one guy, I grab him and put him in. And he's on another team, not the one I have that I just talked about, but he's done pretty good for a rookie. Pretty good. Yeah, and Cook's a great running back for Nate. He's killed it. But you lost an offensive lineman, I heard, for the season there, Mr. Nate. So, like Dallas, that's what's killing Dallas is they have no offensive line at all. Maybe they should, Lonnie, they should trade Denver a quarterback and get some offensive linemen from Denver. Although it's too late now after the Redskins thrashed them, they're done. They need to be looking for draft picks now. The word is they're going to trade down and go after that corner from Alabama in the draft. And I don't know. No, I have not been to bed there, Miss Carms. Carms is Nate's wife. So those of you who don't know, and she's in Australia too. No, I have not been to bed. I came in here to do some shipping, and I decided, it is, JT's in bed. But I decided to get on and go live, and I've been on live almost 2 hours. I got to get out of here and go to bed, I guess, soon. Lonnie's supposed to be listening, but it doesn't sound like he's listening. Sounds like he's sloughing off. And a bunch of other people in here, but I know that some of these people are night owls. Journey seems to be. I know Karen is already. And I know Liz is a night owl. And Carms and Nate are on daytime hours in Australia. Yeah, they're all long for me, Carms. I'm like Nate. I get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and I don't go to bed till 11:30 at night with about a 30-minute nap sometimes during the afternoon just to refresh the batteries when you're on solar power. And I'm on inside solar power. So just me. 10 more to go, slacking off. Hey, I know the feeling, Lonnie. I'll do 35, and the next day I'll do 10, and I'll try to push myself. And some days I just don't have it. And then we had a major ice storm a few weeks ago, and I went like a week without listening to anything because I spent me 3 days just cleaning up limbs from the ice storm. So 0.4 from his tight end. Yeah, I saw that. And I'm okay with that, Nate. I like that my opponent got 0.4 from his tight end. That just helps me. I want to stay in at least 4 so I can play you in the first round and knock you off, shut you up. You just be mad. He can run on. Yeah, and well, I used to be that way. And when I first retired, I slept because I used to have to get up at like 6 to go to work at UPS. And now when I first retired, I was sleeping like 10, 12-hour days. And I was like, man, you got to sleep your life away. And now I don't. I'm so busy with eBay. Y'all that do this, you know how much work this is. This isn't people that think eBay, oh, you do eBay, that's easy work. You don't really work. I promise you, it's harder work than most jobs most of us has ever had. 7 days a week for me. I ship every day. I try to list and do you have to do a lot of research and inventory. And when you got 3,500 plus listings, it's not easy. It's not easy, but hey, I love doing it. And the money's good. I'll probably hit 80 grand this year in sales. So I think that's good. It's good. I think it could be better, but I priced a little high, so we'll see. We'll see. Got to get some write-offs. Maybe I need to buy me a shed. I just bought a new computer and a new GoPro 8, but I got to figure out how to use it. I'm not the tech savviest guy. Not like Lonnie with his compacts and all that stuff. Did you ever get that thing working, Lonnie, that compact computer? I know you ordered a part for it. Did you get those pieces for it that you needed? Yeah, and Best Buy had this for $299, so I had to get it. It was like I think $399 or 400, and I got it for $299. So I think that was a pretty good deal. And today, I've been trying for weeks to get the PS5 or the Xbox One, and today I get these alerts and it tells me all the stores, and I got an Xbox One series or the X 1 terabyte, and I got to pick it up Wednesday. So I was lucky enough to get my hands on that, although it's not as valuable as the PS5. Those things are selling for big money. And on my video today, when you watch it, if you watch it, Lonnie, the beginning clip is showing somebody sold one for $10,100. And what's even crazier about it is it had 23 bids. And most of them are selling between $1,000 and up to about $1,800, the PS5s. The Xboxes are selling for about $850 up to about $1,200. But I mean, you're paying $500. But I just don't know if I want to flip it. I may just keep it. But I just bought a GoPro 8 because I have about 600 video games to clean, and I've had it for about 2 months now, and it took a while to get one, and I haven't even opened the box yet because I'm so busy with other stuff. Yeah, so 10K, that's going to be fake. 10K. No, look at sold comps on the PS5, and I assure you it's there. Now whether it's paid, it's paid for. Now whether it's a scam when they get it there, or they say, "Hey, I didn't get it" or something. But when I have something like that, like you, anything over $100, I pay for insurance and signature required anyway. Especially if it's going to go first class, I got to pay for insurance because it doesn't cover it under eBay. But that's a lot of work. 600 auctions a week, man. That's a lot of auctions. I don't know. I mean, it's on eBay. Look at the sold comps on eBay for a PS5, and you'll see it. Or watch my video. There's a snapshot of it at the beginning of my video today. And but most of them, like I said, are going for $1,000 to $1,800. But when I was in Best Buy today, we were talking to one of the guys that works there, and I said something about. I was joking. I said, "Hey, you got any PS5s?" And he goes, "No, but I got 2 of them." And I'm thinking, what? I understand Best Buy letting the guys that work there have a chance to get one of them, but you got 2 of them. No wonder we can't get none. They're selling to the employees. I can show you 5K Beanie Babies. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be Lonnie. I'm gonna admit, when you first bought those things, I was like, "Oh my God." I mean, I gotta shake my head on that one. But you've proved it wrong, and like I said. Sometimes people look at all of us and they go, "Oh, I can't believe you bought that." And then you turn around and I sold an HP 45S calculator the other day for 165, and the guy sent it back, said the key stuck. I turned around and put it back on eBay, and within an hour it sold again, but I got like 118 for it. But I paid $1 for it. So hey, don't give up just because it comes back or because somebody says one thing. I've had stuff come back that the guys didn't even open. They just changed their mind. So that's why I don't do free returns anymore. People say, "I don't fit." Well, I gave you all the measurements in the listing. I can't help it if you don't know. If you pile up enough shit, it's worth money. Yeah, well, I've got a lot of stuff. I'm looking at about, I don't know if you can see, I don't think you'll be able to see them from where I'm at. But, oh, yeah, there you go. There's the video games I'm waiting to clean. And there's PS4s, 5s, 3, I mean, not 5s, 3s, Wii's, Xbox, DSs, you don't have to clean unless the contacts are dirty. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff, and I'm not a, oh, I know. And the Saints defense has been doing good with, I don't care who they played, they've been doing good. So y'all say what you want about the Saints, but I look for the vintage stuff if I can find it. And I don't know if you were in the room earlier, but I got 16 of these Sega games and a Sega system for $50 at a yard sale recently. But for $50, I almost don't want to sell it because I know it's probably worth several $100s. But I'm like, man, it's almost when you get it for $50, I'm like, that's such a good deal. I don't know if I want to get rid of it. And I've got a GameCube, a PS3, a 64, an Xbox, and I've got PSPs and DSs everywhere, Wii's, Wii U, and I got to get on them and get them out of here. But guess what I did buy, Lonnie? I got it in the mail yesterday. And I have 2 TVs in here that are hooked up to gaming systems, but I don't like unplugging everything. And I got this for $22 plus shipping on eBay. And it comes with a remote and everything. So that's a good deal right there. 90%. So you have 150 listings. Your death pile is 90% of your stock. Yeah, I know. And the problem was when you unplug everything and you got to do all this stuff, and I've got it hooked up to TVs, and I've got one of those 8-channel things that you can click. But this thing right here that you use, and somebody else just got one too. I think was it John got one too, Cincinnati Picker. Somebody just got one of these on one of their YouTube channels. But anyway, I picked this up for 22 and shipping with the remote and everything. So I'm going to start testing these consoles and getting them out of here. And then I've already checked them to see if they have Wii Sports or Mario Kart in them, and some of them do. It always seems like when you find a Wii, it's got one of those 2 games in it, Mario Kart or Wii Sports. It never fails. Those are the games that are inside them. But yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I looked around because most of them looked like they were going for about 60 to 80, and this one was used. But just like my Dymo 4XL, I got it for 100, and it just wasn't compatible with their computer, and I got it and it worked fine, and I love that thing. So, Pops, you got some good. By the way, when you did the stage thing, you planned that right because we ran the stage that same day, and I had been in stage before, but it's not a very popular store. I usually do my retail arbitrage at Ross or Marshalls, but we went looking, but they had already closed. And you and what's that guy from RVA Flips is Jason or Josh or something. He got some. He got a bunch of it, but yeah, and this one's used. I don't know how old it is. The other day, I picked up a postal scale and another printer. It's not a Dymo; it's another brand, and I paid $150 for all of it, and I've got it on eBay for about I don't know $300 or so. But it's the big postal scale, like the one you have, and then the printer. I may have to split them up because they're not selling together. And then the other day, I found a U.S. or a postage meter, but eBay took it down. It's a Pitney Bowes postage meter, and they said it was government. I was like, it's not government, it's Pitney Bowes, and it's brand new in the box. And I paid $20 at a yard sale, and they're like, you can't sell that. I'm like, come on. Oh, I know, and I agree with that, Lonnie. I mean, I tell where I buy everything, whether it's the bins or Goodwill and everything. But there are a couple of spots, kind of like your guy, that I'm not going to tell people where there's a couple of thrift stores I don't tell people because I find really good stuff there and I don't want everybody. And it's not like they couldn't find it on their own if they're hustling and finding it. But I'm not, yeah, I understand that. And I like I said, I don't do a lot of retail arbitrage, but I will do it if the price, again, for me, cost of goods is low, profits high, buy it. I don't care what it is. Doll clothes, vintage shirts, concert shirts, whatever. Yeah, retail is totally different. Yeah, and I honestly think that garage sale stuff and bin stuff sells better than some of the stuff from retail because you can buy it. I think eBay is a lot about memories, and people buy their memories. They want stuff that, just like me buying the Rugrats watches. I bought those. That first, they were cheap enough, and second, they're memories and they're brand new. And the Mott's case, which is the Mott's is the applesauce people. I'm like, okay. And I've got a bunch of that Coca-Cola type junk. And what's this thing I got right here? I got it at a yard sale the other day, and I haven't even listed it yet. But it's a Coke can, but it's a phone. Hello, can you bring me another Coke? I don't know, but it goes to a cord. So yeah, unique sales, 100%. But yeah, I agree, and I know you quit kind of showing some of it because people are tired of seeing jeans and makeup. But I do sell a lot of Mary Kay, and of course, I didn't buy $14,000 worth. I bought 145, but I've made about 800 off of it. So it's definitely a good profit. Um, Women like moisturizers and foundations, that's for sure. And Unique does sell. I think I've done best with ball caps, of course, jerseys, but jerseys don't garner a lot of money unless they're Mitchell and Ness or vintage Jordan type stuff. I've sold some good hockey jerseys. Hockey jerseys sell better than any jersey. But I think baseball are the prettiest or the nicest, but they don't sell very well unless you find a vintage one. And yeah, they gotta have it. Yeah, they gotta have it. And how much of it did Candace take from you? Very much. Yeah, yeah. Nostalgia and memories. It is. It is. You know, I got Alf back there behind me if you can see him, and I haven't listed him. I've got a Teddy Ruxpin I haven't listed. Somebody actually sent me a message and begged me not to sell Teddy Ruxpin because there's people out there that buy them to be mean to him, and I'm like, what? He's a bear. But yeah, but they do all kinds of weird devil stuff with them and stuff. I was like, what? I have never heard of that. But who knows? Well, night, Journey. I guess you ain't the night owl we thought you were, or is that MML going to bed? Oh, to coworkers. Okay, all right. Hopefully, it was the eyebrow pencils and stuff that aren't as valuable as the moisturizers and foundations and lipsticks. Uh, and poor Nate out there in Australia. I love. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. I'm telling you. When I did my video, somebody saw it and they sent me a message and asked me not to sell the Teddy Ruxpin. Begged me, and they were from a Teddy Ruxpin Facebook site. And I'm like, what? And they said, yeah, people buy these kind of like don't buy pit bulls because, or, and make them fight with others or something. And I'm like, I've never heard of that with Teddy Ruxpin, but they're not worth that much money, to be honest with you anyway. So, okay. Leave my mail. But, yeah, unique's what I look for. If it's something odd and I see it, I want it. But what surprises me the most are the plush. The Sonic plush that I sold for 70, I just sold a Kermit the Frog, Jim Henson 1979 bean, kind of a Beanie Baby type thing. And I thought the comps were about $20. And when I looked it up, they have numbers on them. And the number I had was worth over 100. I paid $4 on an estate sale. And I was just going to keep him and put him with all this other crap I got in here. And anyway, I saw a watcher at 105 and I sent him a $99 offer and sold it in 4 days for a Beanie Baby. Y'all know who that is? Yeah. Oh yeah. I've sold Sonic Tails the other day for 70. I paid 26 cents for. I sold some Plants vs. Zombies, 2 sets of like 7 for $62 each. You definitely want to look for plush outside of the beanies. The beanies did okay for you, but definitely look for the little plush, especially the vintage. I sold a Universal Studios Chili Willy today for $20, and I paid 26 cents for one. But it's crazy, crazy. Macari or Facebook. Okay, with shipping. Yeah, it's brand new in the box. I don't know. I don't know why. I almost didn't pick it up. And I was like, I guess I will. Yeah, plush sales. I'm shocked at how much plush sales. And like I said on the Mary Kay, I would have never picked that up 4 months ago. Never would have thought about it until I started comping it and saw how much it was worth. And video games, anime themed games, especially, you make 150 off of that or an NCAA 14 Xbox 360. I look for them. But yep, plush sells well. I agree 100%. And especially the Sonics and the Marios and the Angry Birds and the Plants vs. Zombies really surprised me. And Monster High Doll is another one. Don't pass on them. I've sold a bunch of those for some good money. Crazy. Big was a Mary Kay paid by a lady, $500 for it. How much did you make off that? I mean, mine I spent 145 and I've made over 700 and I've got about a third of it left. But most of the moisturizers and foundations are gone. I'm left with the lipsticks and that kind of stuff. But Mary Kay sells. And I don't think Stage had any Mary Kay. It was all Clinique and Smashbox, according to what you got. But I guess that stuff sells too, obviously. I mean, do you think you're going to get the 60-something thousand that you expected, Lonnie? I mean, is that still your goal to make that kind of money? I mean, is it selling as good as you thought it would? I know it took off hot, but is it still selling as good? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, 500 into 2,000? Shoot, yeah. Okay. Hey, 50K off of 14 grand all day long. All day long. I mean, yesterday my sales, I had a little over 400 in sales, and I made 309 in profit, and my cost of goods was $44. So 44 off 13 sales, 432 in sales, and 309 in profit after fees and shipping and everything. I take that every day, but my goal is to get 150 in profit a day. But it's just a lot of work, But hey, how many people can say they make this kind of money and do this and control their own hours like we do, right? I mean, if you don't work at this, you're not going to make the money that we can make. We know that, but you can also take the time off to go do the things you want to do and do the highway sales and all that kind of stuff. I used to do a lot of promoted listings at 1%. I've backed off that. I mean, I have a majority of my store on them, but the new stuff I've listed, I have not put on it, and I don't see that it's helping me that much. I don't do it at the higher way. Yeah, I mean, but if the sourcing part of it, Lonnie, I love doing. It's the research and the picture taking and the inventory. And I'm an expert at shipping because I'm retired from trucking for 35 years, mostly UPS. So again, I know how to do all that. But you're the box resizing king, though. I'll give you that. You can definitely resize a box. And does Lewis have one of these? Lewis, do you got one of these? You need to get you one. That's a pretty good resizing tool. Before, I just used a box knife and tried to cut little slits in it. Broaden my mentality. Yeah, I've learned a lot from the channels. I learn all the time. And again, I think some guys are better pickers than others, and some guys are better YouTubers than others. But we all learn from each other, and that's the key. And I believe in the small channels helping each other, and I would hope that the bigger channels help some of the smaller channels. And I know in your case, Lonnie, you helped Tesla get off the map. I mean, he didn't have a lot of subscribers, and you mentioned him, and he's gone, and he's taken off. I don't know who helped Mr. Harry, but he's taken off really big. And of course, John's been doing it a long time. You've been doing it a long time. And then, of course, you and Kevin got 2 channels, and there you go. And I'm trying to do some of the yard sale stuff, videos, but most of mine is what I sold and being comedic with Mr. JT back here, and just trying to be different. Hey, if you're making money though, Lonnie, I mean, you ain't got to go out and spend the gas and source. You're buying it, and on the cards. Again, I bought cards and flipped them like you did, not to that volume, but I bought cards and said, I don't want to mess with baseball cards. And you did a good thing there, and then almost paid for your next buy, that's awesome. And you had some offers on it and didn't take them. So good for you. I mean, it's like Hot Wheels. I've got a ton of loose Hot Wheels in a tub that'll fill a whole tote. I just don't have the time to go through them. And I know at some point I will. I don't like baseball cards, especially 80s and 90s. They're just not that valuable. I mean, there may be it's like the Pokemons I picked up and the UGOs. There may be a diamond in there somewhere, but I'd rather just lot them up and sell them and hope I can make some profit. But get us to 1,000 here, with a young girl, and and I heard he did one on some guy the other day that he jumped up into the 500s in one day. But hey, Lonnie will shout us out tomorrow, Angie, right? Lonnie's, yeah, and that's another thing. I don't pick up many comics. Now, you did really good off those naughty comics, I should say, or calendars. But I don't mess with comics too much either because they got to be, first of all, it's all about condition. And just like cards, whether they're Pokemon or baseball, it's all about condition for those kind of collectibles. So for me, it's picking up something like this and going, hey, it's a phone. It's a memory. $30. I paid $1 for it. Boom, gone. Those are the things I like, the smalls. So comic books, I have bought them and then I get laughed at. And then I say I'm not going to buy them, or I'm not going to buy any more jeans or t-shirts. And then I show up with 10 of them, So you can say what you want, but then if the price is right, you go out and you grab it. I mean, Lonnie used to not a lot of clothes, and you just bought a bunch of Levi's, and you've done well with them, but they're new. And I have a lot of clothes, but I try not to sell clothes, but I still find myself. I mean, I sold a Madison Creek jacket last night. I paid $24 for. What did I get for that? I sold it for $100 plus shipping. So, I mean, it's hard not to pick that stuff up. 3,000 comics. Yeah, he made some good money off, especially the comics that you can't show on TV. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm surprised eBay hasn't blocked that stuff like they have coins and everything else that they're blocking. And I just sold a beach body, and then I listed another one that I found, and I got it taken down. I'm like, come on. And I didn't say beach body in it, but it doesn't matter. It's funny how some of the things that they pull up, you go, I mean, I bought an antler lamp here a while back and sold it to somebody in Canada, and he paid good money for that antler, but it was fake antlers. Like I don't know if you figured out if your thing's real or not, your tusk. But it got to Kentucky, and they said it's not allowed to be sold there because it's an elk lamp, antler lamp, and it wasn't really. But you can't complain to them. But they gave me my money back, and they let him get his money back, and I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, I can't either. And I don't know why they did that coin thing. I don't know if it's because of scams or what, but yeah, the new CEOs from Walmart, so who knows why they did that, but. I've had makeup. I actually sold some makeup to somebody overseas and had that stopped at the GSP too. And I don't know why it was foundation, but oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, oh, okay. Well, folks, it's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. I guess I probably ought to get to bed. Y'all probably need to get to bed. Yeah, I think eBay also needs to focus on sellers more than they do they take care of us as well as, or more so than they do the buyers even. And clothes. That's why I don't do free returns. List on clothes. I put all the measurements in, and you're not going to send a free return back to me because it didn't fit you because you didn't know your size. Especially after I've done all that. But yeah, after losing football. Thanks, Nate. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm gonna get 50 out of them Saints. I wish I was playing you then. If I was gonna get 50 out of the Saints defense. But anyway, I am getting tired, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and Lonnie, get my watches shipped out, and shout us out. Check out my channel earlier, my video today, and see what you think. Give me an honest opinion. And Saints got Hill now, so since Mr. Breeze is down, and Breeze is from my hometown. Actually, Breeze played at Austin Westlake, and I played at Del Valley, and I'm a little bit older than him, but a lot older than him. But they were our rival. They were the rich kids with AstroTurf on their stadium field back in the 70s when I played, and we had grass. But we didn't win but 2 games in 4 years. So they weren't that good then, but they're a powerhouse in Texas now. So anyway, Y'all have a great night. I appreciate everybody for coming in, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Have a good night, folks.